Starting your own business, or you already start your own business, statistics says you're going out of business in 2 years. That's exactly what my advisors told me when I decided to go in business. But guess what, folks? I did not go out of business. And I want to teach you today how you can increase your chance of success and not go out of business. There are 5 critical mistakes that you can make as a startup that will cause you to go out of business just like that. And today I'm going to share them with you. So if you're ready for this, let's go ahead and get started. Hey, welcome to a random podcast where we challenge the status quo and we empower people like you to think differently. Today, I'm going to ask you to donate, if you can, to the podcast where it can help us keep moving forward and giving good information. I have a link in the description that says donate. Anything is appreciated. Now let's go ahead and dive in to what we came to hear about. We came to hear how we can increase our chances of success. And by doing so, we have to avoid 5 big mistakes. Number 1 mistake that we have to avoid is building a product or service before we even get consumer feedback. What do I mean? You get excited, you're ready to go because you found something that no one else is doing. You found that golden nugget. But you got to pause for a minute, folks, because it might be something that you think solves the problem. It might solve a problem that you have. But you need to know before you start spending money, time, and energy, whether this is a problem that the masses have and whether what you have in mind is the actual solution. How I did this with my own company, I was fortunate that I worked inside of a car dealership as a car salesman. So when I was coming up with dealership ratings and reviews, I was able to ask customers who were coming to buy cars different questions like, hey, what information would you like to know before coming to a dealership? What information would you like to know about the process? What is important to you when you're buying a car? And then I would interject certain things like, does a reputation of a salesperson matter? I asked different questions to try to fact find and whether to see if there was a need for what I had. And voila, there was a need for what I had. And I was able to start building and putting it together. So this is the number 1 mistake that most entrepreneurs make when they first start their business. They go to building before asking anyone. Now, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I asked my people at church. I asked my spouse. I asked my friends. That is not enough. You have to ask the marketplace. Well, mistake number 2 is actually lending itself to mistake number 1. It's called listening to the customer, to the consumer. So it's not enough that you just ask the questions. It's not enough to try to get feedback. But what are you going to do with it? See, a lot of us get personal when it comes to our product or service. We want to go, no, I'm not changing. I don't care. We get offended when someone says, I would approach it this way. We have to be totally open-minded. And this is where a lot of startups fail because they're dead set on doing it the way that they came up with because they think it's the most genius idea in the world. You have to let the consumer guide you. So you have to allow yourself to feedback in order to adapt your product. You have to be willing to say, I was going the wrong direction or I need to tweak it a little bit. So 1 and 2 is very paramount. They are partners. Now, number 3, this kills so many businesses. I almost got caught in this trap. This is a big trap. Okay, I got programmers together and we're building the product and we're doing all the features, we're doing all the things. So it's my baby, right? I'm giving birth to this thing. I'm putting skin in the game, right? So I fall in love with the product. This is mistake number 3. You can't fall in love with the product. You have to stay in love with the problem and the solution. That has to be your guiding star. That has to be the light that's leading you out of the tunnel. If the product that you're building isn't solving the problem, then you don't need to be building it. You need to focus your energy on the problem and the solution. And we get caught up into the product loving, seeing how shiny it is, how big it is, how great it is, how grand it is, how much we can brag on the product or service when it's unnecessary fat that doesn't need to be there. Okay, mistake number 4 has nothing to do with the product. It has to do with you and your business and your mindset. Paper chasing instant funding. We have all bought into that myth that People go and they have these meetings and their ideals are so great and so killer that they sign a deal on a napkin. That's movies, folks. That's media. Yeah, did it happen before? Has it happened to some people? I'm sure it has. But it happens to people who already have started and sold companies multiple times. And people are not investing in their ideal. They're investing in them. Therefore, that's the reason why they're getting that deal. Not because they have some great, groundbreaking concept, right? So don't think you're going to a meeting and you're going to blow them away, that they're going to write you a check. I fell into that trap. My partner and I, man, we used to get in our suits. We used to carry briefcases. You guys don't know what briefcases are nowadays. We were always told, carry a briefcase, no matter if anything's in it. And nothing was ever in the briefcase, okay? But we would show up, and we're like, we're going to kill them. We're going to slay them. We're going to get them, man, and we're going to get that check. Meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, no check. Let me tell you the reason why. Here's a little hint for you why. Investors need to see some product or service working. They need traction and adaptation of a product or service. In today's world, the real world that we live in, you're not getting a check for a concept. Okay? You're getting a check because you showed that 10,000 consumers are using this. You're showing that this many people are buying it, that there is a market and a demand for it on a lower level. So how do you do that? The way you have to do that is you have to bootstrap. You have to scrape money together. You have to maybe get a business loan in order to start building out your product. That's why step 1 is important. Step 2's important. Step 3's important in order to build out this product or service the correct way so that it can get traction, so that you can get funded. There's no such thing as instant funding. So take that and throw it out the window. Now, number 5 is big. People go down this rabbit trail and it kills them as well. It kind of lends itself to fall in love with the product. Number 3, and that is feature creeping. What I mean by that is that you're getting all this feedback from consumers about the product or service, and you keep adding on to the product or service because one person said that this feature would be great or this service would be great. Keep them clean and lean. Only add features or services that are necessary for solving the problem. Stay in love with the problem and only do it for that. Now, I'm going to give you a little tidbit, a little bonus here, right? So I had a PR person, a public relation person that I hired for the company. She was great. She taught me a lot. One thing she taught me was that, hey, you guys are doing big development. You're coming up with 10 different features or whatever it is for a product. Don't release that in one press release. Tell it over time. So with your product and your service, don't put all your features in there at one time. Continue to build on it. Even if you have all the features built out, you need to time release them out. That's a bonus from me to you. Remember, no one's going to give you any money. No one's going to invest in your product unless you have the traction. You have to have everything lined up correctly. So therefore, you're going to need a bootstrap. So right here is a video on how you can get up to $600,000 just like that. And right over here, you can see how bootstrapping versus VC might be the best option for you. If you feel like this helped you, go into the description and click on the donate link to continue to support us. This is your boy J.I., a random podcast. I'll holler at you on the other side.